When you become aware of the world, you know that feeling. When you start looking at the world more deeply, and suddenly everything becomes too much. People, conversations, noise. It's as if you can no longer tolerate the superficiality, the lies, the games everyone plays, and hardly anyone even realizes it's a game. Carl Gustav Jung, the Swiss psychologist, understood this feeling better than anyone. He would say, "This is not a weakness. It's a sign that your consciousness is awakening." When you become aware, you start seeing what most people still cannot. You see the masks people wear, you see how they hide behind roles, behind the persona, as Jung called it. You see how much unconscious fear and pain lies behind every smile. And then sadness arises. Not because you are above others, but because you suddenly see them as they truly are, wounded, lost, unaware that they are asleep. Many then say, "I can't be around people anymore. Everything annoys me. Everything feels shallow." But Jung would tell you, do not run away. This is not the end, it is only the beginning. The fact that you cannot tolerate others, it is not hatred. It is the pain of awakening. Now you see the world without filters, and it can be overwhelming. So what should you do? How do you live in a world that now feels too loud, too fast, too shallow? Jung would say, first, do not try to change others. There is no use trying to push awareness into those who are still asleep. Instead, remain calm and be yourself. Your existence already changes the space you inhabit. Second, observe, do not judge. When you see another's unconsciousness, remember, you were once there too. This brings compassion and eases the pain. Third, nurture silence. Silence is the place where consciousness rests. In nature, in music, in your breath, where the world stops screaming, you reconnect with yourself. Do not forget, the goal is not to escape the world, but to learn to love it as it is. With all its contradictions, its light and darkness. Because consciousness is not an escape to the heights. Consciousness is the ability to stay grounded. To see the darkness, and, despite it, not stop loving. When you become aware, you can no longer tolerate lies. Not because you are better than others, but because you have finally felt the truth. And truth, once seen, cannot be forgotten. And then a new lesson arises. To learn to love people who are still asleep. To understand that their unconsciousness has a purpose. That they are also walking a path, just at a different pace. This, according to Jung, is a sign of mature consciousness. When you see all the darkness and the light, and still choose peace. When you stop running and start accepting. When you realize that your awareness is not a weapon, but a light. One that does not judge, but warms. Because then, awareness becomes love. And love, that is the highest form of consciousness. Thank you for watching.